20th, Monday, 2026. Yeah, it's 420, you guys. I didn't realize that until I started doing birthdays. I was like, oh yeah, it's so and so's birthday. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stoners out there, probably at all the Parliament buildings smoking weed, probably at all the city halls, protesting. Uh, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but yeah, expect to see probably deals at your pot shops across Canada right now too. But yeah, let's get into the news. It's 11 degrees Celsius here in southwestern Manitoba. That's 51.8 degrees Fahrenheit to you guys down in the States. And let's get over into some news here in Manitoba. American based Boeing is investing $36 million in Winnipeg, Manitoba facility to strengthen manufacturing, fund research and development projects. That's pretty crazy, with what's been happening in the US and like some of these trade deals and stuff. It's actually very surprising to see that Boeing is willing to spend $36 million up here on projects, when it seems like Canada and the US are highly divided right now. But that's just a huge development. And with this deal, yeah, it's just going to open up more opportunities for more investments. And this $36 million could reach a potential of into the billions of dollars as well. So this first initial $36 million is, yeah, just a start. And then over to Ontario, Doug Ford is going to sell his newly acquired $29.8 million jet due to the backlash he's getting from voters. Apparently, his phone was ringing off the hook. And after Doug is saying he's the leader of the people, but where did he have the people in mind when he decided to purchase this jet? And then what other types of lies did he is he hiding right now? He had all the time in the world to explain the purchase of this jet, but didn't tell the people until it had already been acquired by the government. So really, what's going on here? Like, and I hope really the voters really take this into consideration in Ontario. Like, if you can't trust this guy on like the purchase of this plane and him keeping this a secret until it's already in his possession. Like there's no way he was going to be able to deny hiding it because people would be seeing him getting on and off of like whose plane is that? So yeah, he was going to get caught sooner or later. But yeah, what other kind of lies is Doug Ford holding behind us? Like this is insane. And yeah, I'm a person for the people. You never had the people in mind when you purchased that jet in the first place. And then for him to say, oh, I need to get to these remote Ontario locations because you can't always get a flight to these places. And I need to be there to open new hospitals and open new businesses and show my face. You know what? You can get on the plane like the rest of us. You know, stop being a wuss. And like, I really hope the people in Ontario start to realize, this is not the person who should be in power. Yeah, he's done a few good things. Yeah, he's given teachers $700 a year so they can buy school supplies for their students. Like, why are you giving the teachers the school supplies? Why don't you give the school divisions the school supplies? Why are you allowing the teachers to decide, what they need for their students? It doesn't really make any sense. But yeah, it looks like he's doing something good, but really at the end of the day, he's not. Then over the United States, Trump has just signed an executive order this weekend to make psychedelic drugs to treat mental health conditions such as depression and anxiety, directing $50 million of federal funds to make them more accessible and ordered the Food and Drug Administration to fast track and review of such drugs as psilocybin and ibogaine. Ibogaine has been known for treating heroin addiction. Anywhere from 1 to 3 doses can not fully cure, but can help reduce major addiction sensations. To make you want to keep doing it. So that could be potentially good. But with the recent results that have come out with marijuana, and then how this has helped people with PTSD, anxiety, and depression, there is no actual results stating that this helps people. If not, it makes it worse. So really to sit here and throw money at more drugs without having like some real good scientific backing behind it, and without not realizing like, hey, we've already done the research on marijuana and for it's not helping anybody. It's not. So to sit there and put $50 million into research like this because of something Joe Rogan said in through a text he sent to President Trump, why is President Trump listening to Joe Rogan? You know, he's not an official. Like he has no scientific background. Just because he's done drugs, it makes him a, a specialist in stuff like this. So I don't see this turning out to be a very good thing. This you might as well say, hey, let's decriminalize drugs like they did in Vancouver. It didn't work. It was never going to work from the get-go. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this, but I just see more and more problems. And when it comes to like drugs like this could bring up other underlying mental health issues that have been dormant in some people, not realizing, this could trigger like more mental health issues across people. And it also depending on what other people are taking for drugs. There's certain medications like AMOs, you take stuff, heavy psychedelic drugs. Yes, this could send you off the rails and totally mess up your brain. And I don't see any of this actually going to help. And then what are they going to do? Are they going to start giving psilocybin to people with, schizophrenia and stuff like that? And do you think that's going to work? Like, I really don't see that. There has been some research, though, that's saying that psilocybin can help with dementia and stuff like that, but the research still isn't 100% there. And then to say that, we're going to start testing these drugs on other people, I don't think that's a good idea. It's just going to bring up more underlying problems that people didn't have diagnosed in the first place. And then over to Alberta. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith government is going to sit down with grocers to talk about lowering food costs. You're going to talk to the grocers there, Danielle Smith. What the grocers are already complaining about the where they're getting their supplies from. Like Loblaws is already complaining that, Maple Leaf Foods is ripping them off by adding fuel surcharges to all of their deliveries across all Loblaws stores. Okay. So why are you asking the grocers? You need to be lobbying yourself to the actual producers of the product. Like this is just you're wasting your breath right now. What are the grocers are already fighting? They're fighting the main where they're getting the main products from. So Danielle Smith, I don't know. You're just trying to get some sound bites to make it sound like you're doing something. Because really, right now, what I'm seeing here right now is you're just wasting your breath, trying to make it sound like you're gonna try and help the people. But I don't see this ever gonna happen. Like with the fuel costs right now, no, I don't expect to see food costs coming down. Yeah, the government is talking about putting giving people a tax break or giving people money back so they can purchase groceries. But it's we'll see what happens here in the next couple months. And then over to China. This is interesting. China has demonstrated a new way to power drones by using microwave beams, allowing them to have extended airtime. And this is huge when it comes to supporting continuous surveillance and even strike missions. Those things never have to land now. And this is probably based off a little bit of Nikolai Tesla's research. But I know the US has been dabbling with stuff like this, but for China to sit there and fully demonstrating this now, we'll see kind of what kind of backlash this is gonna create. throwing microwaves up in the sky constantly, and then depending on what type of microwave frequencies these are, uh, could be actually detrimental to wildlife, birds, even other aircraft in the air. So, hey, bullets, bullets. Yeah, it was a blast, eh? And then over to South Korea. Ooh, South Korea is bracing for the end of modern life as they know it. State employees are hit with driving bans, limiting household electricity to battle the energy crisis right now. There's few countries right now, they're already talking about this. Banning travel or limiting your travel, even talking about working from home again. Like we're going right back to the COVID ways here because of this pre-created energy crisis. And tell you the truth, Trump should have known something like this was going to happen from the get-go. Like could have given the countries a little bit time to brace for this instead of just going into an all-out conflict, creating this so-called energy crisis. Meanwhile, there's a lot of natural gas, diesel, and oil out there. But the only reason that this is staying up in cost is because of the stock market and other countries who control the oil. So I don't know, just I don't want to sound like we should separate ourselves from the world, but like South America and the Americas and North America, we have more than enough stuff here to sustain a good fuel system. And why are we paying the prices for it? We should actually reconsider like how the stock market works and how we allow other countries to control our oil and gas, because this is just absolutely insane. This never should have happened in the first place. And with the conflicts and stuff that have happened in the past, like Iraq and Afghanistan, we should have known that this was going to happen. Remember 1997? Yeah, that energy crisis. Yeah, where gas, people were complaining from gas going from 40 cents to 60 cents. We're just living these cycles over and over again. And if we can't realize that we're just doing the same thing over and over again, then, there's something seriously wrong with our countries and our mindset and our government, because this shouldn't be happening in the first place. And Montreal Bombardier has signed a service agreement with private aviation company Vista, valued at $300 million USD over the next 5 years. And this is just the initial $500 million. With some of the contracts they're going to have, could go anywhere from like $1.4 billion to $4.75 billion for private aircraft sales. Projected numbers is anywhere from 10 to 40 up to 60 new aircraft. Uh, and we're talking about this is wholesale prices. This isn't going to be finalized sale prices. So those numbers could still go up for Bombardier too. So yeah, good for Bombardier. And by the way, Bombardier is a Montreal, Quebec based company. Oh, and then over to gas prices here in Canada. Gas prices should be down around 11.5 cents today after removing the federal excess tax, while diesel is only down around 4.5 cents per liter, which is still going to affect food costs. Really, we need to start seeing the food costs come, or the diesel costs coming down, because at the end of the day, uh, just lowering gas isn't going to help our food costs. The diesel costs actually need to come down a lot more than what gas is if we want to start seeing cheaper food on our tables. And then start seeing like how the grocery stores and some of the retailers are, dealing with having to deal with these extra surcharges and fuel costs. So I don't know. And the federal government's supposed to lose around $32.4 billion. Oh, diesel dropped 10 cents. Thank you. I was just told right now that diesel has been dropped 10 cents here in Manitoba, but I don't know how that's going to be across the rest of Canada. What was gas at then?
155.9.
down from what? It's at 115.
165. It went down 10 cents.
Oh, okay, so it's only went down 10 cents here
Yes.
in Manitoba, but yeah.
Supposedly in Winnipeg it's down to $1.32
Yeah, but
now.
they can fight have gas wars like that. In Brandon, small towns like that, they can't. Most they can do is up down 1 cent. Oh, so yeah, yeah, the diesel costs definitely need to be cut a lot more because this is what's affecting our food costs. And then talks of the Yakuzma deal between Canada and Mexico is absolutely dead in the water, especially after Carney's speech this past weekend here, pretty much saying, dealing with the U.S. right now is unjust. It's useless. We're not going to get anything done with them, and it's a shame that Canada had to put all their eggs in one basket, relying on the U.S. is one of the biggest trading partners in the world. And then Carney's getting a lot of flack for this too. But to tell you the truth, I don't know why everyone's so mad at Carney. Look at every other president across the world right now. Do you think anybody is doing any better than what Carney would be? Do you think Pierre Polyev would be in a better situation if he was in power dealing with President Trump right now? No, everyone is having a headache with the US right now. And for what Carney is doing, finding these deals across the world, separating ourselves and, getting all of our eggs out of the basket and finding some diversity across the planet. There's lots of other countries that have resources that we could use, and a lot of other countries that could use our resources, especially our lumber. Like 80% of our lumber goes to the United States and then they resell it back to Canada at like an extra 20 to 40%. Why do we sell our lumber to the United States for them to sell it back to us? Let's get rid of this lumber trade and start finding other markets for that. And yeah, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, with this Yakuzma deal, there is talks that Canada and the U.S. are going to work on a deal separately, just finding new routes and ways to get product out is going to be an issue, though. And Canada is following suit after other countries ban social media for peoples under 16. And this is specifically after a significant amount of parents across Canada are bringing up bringing up points where their kids are missing anywhere from tens of days up to weeks of school due to cyberbullying and social media. So a lot of other countries are doing this right now, and I think this will probably be good for kids' mental health. The internet is not a place to be, sitting there saying whatever you can, but that seems to be what's happening. It's easy to sit there and critique and make fun of somebody, with words online, but let's see what happens when you say that to somebody to their face. And that's the problem with the internet. And you have all these like people who are dating online, they've never met each other in the first place, and then finally like they meet each other and then they realize that, oh, your whole lives are based on lies, but hey, let's still hook up and then yeah, base our whole lives after, this relationship being a complete lie too. So could be a good thing. Could be a good thing. And to tell you the truth, I think there should be quite a few adults who should be banned from using, social media as well. Like Alex Jones. Uh, But to tell you the truth, Alex Jones has actually made some pretty significant points the last couple weeks here too. Yes, I do listen to some stuff he says, but most of the stuff I have to turn off. Yeah, and then yeah, like what happened down in the States yesterday. I don't want to talk about that. As soon as I heard there was kids involved, I had to turn it off. I don't want to talk about it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the news for April 20th. It's 420, the National Pot Day. And let's end everything off on things that happened today in history. April 20th, 1862. The first pasteurization test is completed by Frenchman Louis Pasteur, sorry, and Claude Bernard. Yeah, why did we never hear about Claude Bernard? We always hear about Pasteur, taking credit for pasteurizing milk and really changing like what we know of milk, due to the fact that milk back in the day carries parasites and other things like that. And with pasteurizing milk, it kills off all that living bacteria and still keeps the good stuff inside the milk. And April 20th, 1902, Marie and Pierre Curie isolate radioactive compound radium chloride. Madame Marie Curie. Yeah, they didn't last very long. They didn't last very. I don't think they realized what they were getting into when they were playing with all this radioactive material. But yes, their lives were shortly lived uh, after receiving major doses of radiation poisoning. And April 20th, 2010, Deep Horizon drilling rig in the or in the Gulf of Mexico explodes, killing 11 people, sinking the rig, creating an environmental disaster in the Gulf of Mexico. You guys probably remember that. And we didn't hear about it for very long, which is normally when it comes to disasters and stuff like that and oil spills, we used to hear about this like constantly, but they seem to just cover that up as quickly as possible. And April 20th, 1979, President Jimmy Carter is attacked by a swamp rabbit that swims up to his fishing boat in Plains, Georgia. Okay, a swamp rabbit. It's like a hare, like a rabbit hare, but it's a lot bigger, and they're very good at swimming, and they have a tendency to want to hang around in swamps and stuff like that. So yeah, a rabbit attacking the president. Like, where was the Secret Service then? And then what would the Secret Service do? Oh, that would be so funny. Imagine being attacked by a rabbit. Like, what would that say about you? A little fluffy. And famous birthdays, April 20th, 1745 to 1826. Philippe Pinel, the father of modern psychology. He passed away at the age of 81. And April 20th, 420, 1889 to 1945. He was age 56. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller, you want to know what also 420 is? It's also Adolf Hitler's birthday. So meanwhile, all the stoners are out there celebrating pot, not realizing that you're also celebrating Hitler's birthday at the same time. And the only reason I really remember this is because me and some friends back in the day when we were kids, well, younger in our 20s, we went to a park to celebrate 420, and there was a big neo-Nazi rally, and we're sitting there celebrating 420. Meanwhile, they're sitting there, you know, walking around with Nazi flags and Nazi shit kickers, and with their kids promoting Zionism and stuff like that. And got to sit down and talk with them for a little bit, and then finally realized, yeah, it was they're celebrating Hitler's birthday. And April 20th, 1937, George Takai is 89. You probably remember him best as Lieutenant Sulu from the 1966 to 1969 TV series Star Trek. April 20th, 1949, Jessica Lange is 77. You probably remember her in the 1976 reboot make of the movie King Kong. And April 20th, 1961, Don Mattingly is 65, baseball legend and manager, with his number 23 being retired. Mattingly, yeah, some games and stuff made after with his name. So, yeah, definitely. I thought, tell you the truth, I thought he was a little bit older than that. I thought he was in his 70s for sure, but no. And April 20th, 1972, Carmen Electra is 54. I probably remember her best from her little stint in the show Baywatch from 1997 to 1998. Boom. So that's it for the news today, you guys. Monday. Happy 420. Happy Hitler birthday, apparently. So yeah, that's it for the news. You guys like this? Hit the like button, subscribe. I'm here Monday to Friday, 4 to 4:30 p.m. Central Time, 30 minutes or less. Why? Because anything longer than that's just BS anyways. So yeah, I'll be back for tomorrow's show at 4 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. And let's see what the news has to offer for tomorrow. And Bullocks, thanks for popping in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, peace out.